Welcome back to my channel, folks. Wildlife Ranger here on YouTube, where I hope today you can join me in another plant in the 50 Flowers in 50 Days series. Today's prickly contender, often overlooked and not much loved, is a plant called Marsh Thistle or Cirsium palustre. If there is one thing for sure, this is not the sort of place you will find your four-legged friend lingering, and even the most nimble of candidates find trouble navigating it. On a serious evolutionary note, it does bring into scope why plants have evolved prickles and stings to deter grazing herbivores from impacting upon their life cycle. The plant is known by a limited number of common vernaculars, namely the Marsh Thistle or the European swamp thistle. There is some mention in some older English texts of the names bog thistle, moss thistle, water thistle or red thistle, generally reflecting the habitat that the plant is found in. The Latin epithet is straightforward, the prefix cirsium coming from the Greek word cursius, a red or swollen vein pertaining to when the skin is prickled and reddens. The suffix palustre refers to the typical habitat, meaning swampy places, derived from palus and oidis, meaning swamp or bog. Marsh thistle is a perennial herb which is native to Europe and parts of Asia. It is found in wetland habitats such as marshes, fens, damp meadows and anywhere where water will accumulate, such as on slopes. Hi folks, Wildlife Ranger here on YouTube. Today we are in semi-improved grassland on a hill slope which we've imaged before, and we are looking at a plant known as Marsh Thistle or Cirsium palustre, and the habitat that we're in is just very typical of where you find Marsh Thistle. As you can see me, there are stands in front of me, to the side of me and directly behind me, and this is a tall plant which can grow up to 5.5 feet, branching out from a basal rosette which we imaged earlier in the year. It would be fair to say that these welted stems are prickly, that's for sure, and on the flower head we have a cluster of bright purple thistle-like flowers which are scentless, unlike what we see in creeping thistle or the Cirsium arvens, which is a very fragrant thistle, attracting many of the bee pollinators. But as you can see, it's a tall branched plant originating from a basal rosette down in there, and it has clusters of flower heads which often droop when they reach their sort of peak weight. And the habitat, which is directly behind me, is very typical of where we find it. As always, before we embark on our journey into the field, we will look at the features and characteristics which will enable us to identify and find it, commencing with the nature of the flower structure. You may recall from the 5-minute family videos we outlined the features and characteristics of the flowers in the Asteraceae or daisy family. For the purpose of this video, delete yellow and insert purple pink. The flowers of Marsh Thistle consist of numerous ray-like florets strapped together by the bracts on the capitulum. Each of these little individual reflorets extend outwards, forming what is termed a ligule. Ligule coming from the French meaning tongue. As the fruit develops, it turns into a parachute-like seed which is subsequently dispersed by the wind. The plant disperses its seed by wind, with the etching and the fluffy-like parachute of the paphos dispersing on breezes. As stated, the plant is a member of the family Asteraceae, or the daisy. It is a biennial perennial plant that can grow up to 6 feet in height. Because it completes its life cycle in 2 years, in the first year the plant presents as a dense rosette, and in the second year it moves towards a tall branching spike or upright stem. And we hope we've captured this in the video that follows with the leaves and stems. The flower head contains purple to pink flower heads in loose clusters which droop, and the flower head is 10 to 20 millimeters in diameter with purple tipped bracts. There can be occasional white flowers in this species. The flowering period for Marsh Thistle is between the months of June and September. Let us allow the flower to speak for itself. So folks, let's have a look at the leaves and stems of this tall defender of pasture. In the mature plant of Marsh Thistle, the leaves are narrow, deeply lobed and lined with fine yellowish spines along the edges. They are a dull green on the upper surface and whitish underneath, with spiny wings that continue down the stem, a term which is known as decurrent. So it's early spring, and we've just taken this opportunity on the 5th of April 25 to document the rosettes of what appears to be Marsh Thistle, which is Cirsium palustre. So these are a few shots of the base stand early in the season. Well folks, we come to the end of this episode on this tall and much unloved defender of marsh and pasture. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video or found it interesting or educational, please like, share and subscribe to help this channel become successful and bring you more episodes in the series. In the words of Maggie, our international model of floral appreciation, whatever the weather may be, get outdoors and enjoy it.